We're live. What's good, my beautiful people? It's your boy Gio, back with another episode of the Giojackson Show. And today, obviously, we're going to recap. A lot of finals happened this weekend, yesterday. But how's everyone doing? How's everyone's week? Hope everyone's doing great. Happy Monday. Hope whatever you got going on this week, you take care of it as always. Like always, keep pushing through, keep moving forward. Start of a new week. We here, back again. Um, Obviously, we've been blessed this past month, with all these tournaments going on, but it's also sad because they're over. Looking forward to the new start of the seasons. A lot of preseason games going forward for clubs, but also football is almost here. Is almost back. Training camp probably starts in 2 weeks for most teams. We're back to fantasy. We're back to football. Football's king. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But like I said, yesterday, amazing day for football. We had the Euro final plus the Copa America final. So let's jump into it. And let's start off with Spain defeats England to win the Euro 2024. Um, the game, first half, obviously, was pretty, you would say, you know, they didn't, obviously Spain was dominating most of that, most of the first half. Very, England, their tactics, it was very frustrating. Trying to defend, not take a lot of risk. And I felt like that was inevitably their downfall going forward. They have amazing players, amazing players. That's what we've been saying all tournament. They have Bellingham coming out of a amazing season with Real Madrid, Foden, Saka. The defense, they played well, but I felt it went down to coaching, and they face a Spain who's been obviously the best team of the tournament, the most consistent team that from first game to the last game, they did win all their games to win the Euros, and deservedly champions. Deservedly champions. I feel like we'll get into it, but I feel like the player of the tournament. He did win the young player of the tournament, but I feel like he was their best player going forward. Lamil Jamal. You could have said maybe Nico Williams, but Lamil Jamal, at 16, being the star player of his national team, dominating, yesterday, he didn't have the best of games, but he did have an assist. And inevitably, like I said, Spain wins it in the last couple minutes with, you know, my boy, Cucarella, assisting to Orsa Real to score the 2-1. It wasn't offsides, but throughout the game, I mean, I think it was a great game. The first half, like I said, both teams were not trying to lose. Spain dominated the ball well, moved the ball well. They were able to, do what Spain does well: pass the ball, have possession. They had better opportunities. Nico Williams was cooking Walker all game. Um, Luke Shaw, he held his own against Jamal. Like I said, Jamal didn't have his best of games. He had two opportunities to score, but he did give that decisive assist to Nico Williams. And like I said, man, England, it was very frustrating watching them play. Very vanilla brand of football. Conservative, not playing scared. And if you want to be champion, if you want to win, you can't play like that. You gotta play to win. And I felt like, second half start, obviously they're down 1-0. They make some changes. They put in Ollie Watkins, man. Harry Kane, I don't know, he just seems so sluggish, slow, dropping back. I don't know, that style of play that England was trying to play, it didn't fit him well. He needed to be the focal point, be on top, be a point of crosses or whatever, but he drops too much. They made the change. They put Ollie Watkins in faster. And I feel like, man, like England, like they were using Bellingham on the wing. And it's like Bellingham is more dangerous central. Like that, I feel like they needed more speed on the side, for Kane, right? More speed. It was just Saka. Maybe, they didn't give a chance to Gordon from Newcastle. He has a lot of speed. But eventually Ollie Watkins goes in. And then, let My boy, Cole Palmer, all day yesterday, went out with my friends to watch him in Mountain View. And I said, the key of this game, is one man. They didn't believe me. They said, is that fanboy talking? But I said, all he needs is one. He just needs this opportunity. We saw it last game against Netherlands. He came in, assisted Ollie Watkins, and then my boy Cole Palmer just needed 2 minutes to equalize. Amazing goal. Classic Cole Palmer goal. Cole. But there's only so much one player can do when, bad coaching. They score, and I feel like they get the momentum of the game. They have the opportunity, Spain's kind of shell shocked. They're on the ropes. England has the opportunity to capitalize on the momentum. And what do? They drop back again. They play conservative, trying to play for extra time, maybe PKs. And you can't do that against a team like Spain. Like I said, Spain's been the best team of the whole tournament. And, they gave back the ball to them, the possession. And eventually, Spain's going to score. Spain is going to do what Spain does. Throughout the whole tournament, I feel like they've been the best team. Pedri obviously he got injured, but then almost stepped up. Almost, he had a great tournament as well. Nico Williams, we said Jamal, Rodri, he did win the player of the tournament. Rodri's just solid. Like I don't know if he was the player of the tournament, but he bossed up that midfield, and he did get injured, but they the suplente that came in for him, did the same thing. That midfield was great. Cucurella, man, like he upgraded from Cacarella to Cucurella. He looked like prime Roberto Carlos, man. Like I didn't if you would have told me that Cucurella was going to be the starting left back for Spain at the beginning of the tournament, I would have been like, man, he was like our worst defender at Chelsea. But hey, I mean, Chelsea might sign him, but they need to remember that he's still on the team. But man, what a tournament from Cucurella. Looked like when he was back in Brighton, the hair, the aura, defending, going up and down. He had the decisive assist. So I'm happy for my Chelsea boys in this final. Cucurella, Cole Palmer, they did what they had to do for their teams. Unfortunately, like I said, back to England. Southgate. I think it's on him. Lukewarm is not lukewarm. Palmer is the coldest of the cold. He did his thing. Unfortunately, like I said, we're gonna jump into it with Southgate. This coach, I feel like very vanilla. England, I was thinking this at work. England is kind of like the Niners of international football. They make it to finals. They get too conservative when they're supposed to be more, going out there to get the win. I will say though, the Niners do play a better, attractive type of football. They do have amazing players, but when the going gets tough, when you need to make that final step to be champions, they get too conservative. They stop. I don't know. And same with England. Like they got the whole tournament. Like they did not play well. They should have lost against Slovakia, but a moment of brilliance from Bellingham saved them. Then Kane. They went to PKs against Switzerland. You could say first half against the Netherlands is probably the best they've played. And then, they did win with a last second goal to go to the final. And, they had their moment. Se echaron para atrás. Like I said, the rest is history. Spain capitalized. Going forward, I mean, Spain, they're only going to get better. They're all young. I mean, by the time the World Cup comes, Jamal is going to be 19, 18 years old. I think 19 years old. Nico Williams in his prime, Pedri in his prime. All their players, they're going to be in their prime. They're going to be riding this momentum. Like being such a young team and winning a tournament like this, it's just they're going to have the biggest confidence going forward. And Spain's always been good, but this is a new wave, a new era for Spain, and we could be looking at a dynasty. They could do something, as they did in 2008, 2010, win the World Cup, and then coming back 2012, winning the Euros. With that, we all know that amazing core of players: Javis, Iniesta, Ramos, David Villa, Fernando Torres, Casillas, Jesus Navas, Jordi Alba, Busquets. We might be seeing, a new era. And it's exciting. But now, let's talk about, highlights of the tournament, the biggest winners, disappointments. Let's start with the disappointments. I would say France. I would say they're one of the bigger disappointments other than England because of the quality players that they had. Mbappe did not have the best of tournaments. I kept waiting for that Mbappe moment where he would take over. I thought it could have been the semifinal. He did not come through. Maybe his mind is already in Madrid. He did have that injury at the beginning, but that I would say that him, Griezmann, did he even play? Did he even show up? Big elephant in the room. Don't I respect him. He's one of the goats, but Ronaldo, he looked washed this tournament. Do you guys agree? He looked washed. He looked not himself, or he wanted to play for himself. Crying because he didn't score his PK. I don't know. I feel like he's like a bad. I don't know. It just seems like he's a bad vibe for his players. Like I kept saying, like I feel like the whole team wants to play for him to make sure that he scores his goals, that he's happy. When in reality, they should play for as a team. And him being the leader, the GOAT, the captain, I feel like he should emphasize that. Like, don't worry about me. Like, let's worry about Portugal. I think that was one of the bigger disappointments. Ben washed exactly. Um, Other disappointments, Lakaka. Definitely, I mean, Lakaka's Lakaka. He just misses sitters. One game, I don't know what happened to him. He used to be amazing when he was in Everton. Everton was probably that time zone man, prolific striker. Same when he was in Inter. Before he came to Chelsea, then at Chelsea, I don't know what happened. And then going forward, Lakaka is Lakaka. Now he has become a meme. That's another disappointment. Who else? We said Mbappe, Griezmann, Ronaldo, Harry Kane. No, Phil Foden. Big disappointment. They call him what they call him? 007, 0 assists, 0 goals, 7 games. He took up the hindsight's 2020, right? But I got a lot of grief when I said, man, maybe Cole Palmer should play in his spot. I get it, he had an amazing season with City. He a difference maker, but he didn't really do shit. And Cole Palmer, when given the chance, decisive assist in the semifinal, decisive goal in the final. Who knows what he could have done in this tournament, riding that momentum from that amazing season with Chelsea. Am I a homer? I could be a homer. They speak for himself. I mean, Pepe's, when he had the ball yesterday, you were kind of scared. But I would say him, Foden was a disappointment. I think even though Bellingham did score some goals, I think he was a disappointment as well. He would go ghost on some of these games. Kane, he just looked old, sluggish. I felt like maybe Ollie Watkins should have started. I feel like that pace, having someone that's has that speed would have benefits England more, since they want to play more counter attack, wait. They would send long balls to Kane, to Bellingham, to Foden, who aren't that much speed. They don't have a lot of speed. So I don't know. But it falls to coaching. Who? And Luke? Cold. Ice cold. Antarctic cold. Sub-zero cold. You gotta admit, he's good. He's good. Cole Palmer. But those, I would say, my biggest disappointments. Biggest winners. Lamine Jamal. Established himself at 16 years old, leading Spain as, a big, big name going forward for many years to come. Because there's a big opening right now in football. Obviously we're coming from the era of Ronaldo versus Messi is over. It's over. Father Time is undefeated, but now there's a new, for many years we've been saying Mbappe. I think right now Mbappe is there as the best player in the world. Vinny had an amazing season. Bellingham, but I feel we could be seeing the next big thing in Jamal. And like I said, the goal against France in the semifinal with that pressure, scoring that, cooking up Tio Hernandez, the assist in the final. That's a big winner. I would say to him. Um, Guler from Turkey, I think he had an amazing tournament as well. Turkey didn't make it far, but he had a banger of a goal as well. That was another one. Who else? Nico Williams. I mean, he solidified himself as another of these top players going forward. Barca's trying to get him. Let's see if they get him. I'm talking to, my people at Chelsea and the upper boards, Todd Boy. If we can make a move, him next to Mudrik would be amazing. Right, George, if you're here? Javi Simmons, yep. The Netherlands team in general, I think they had an amazing, you could say maybe they should have been in the final. Definitely Netherlands, but Javi Simmons played well. Van Dijk, their midfielder, I'm forgetting his name. He played very well. So the Netherlands as well. Well, the team, I think Georgia, the Georgia team, Atlanta, Georgia, they had an amazing season. First time, making it out of the group stages. That game, that's group stage game that I watched, Turkey versus Georgia, one of the best games I watched this tournament. Like I said, it ended up with that Guler banger at the end, but I didn't know what's that then. But he had an amazing goal. I would say that they're another big winner of the tournament. Another disappointment I forgot to mention: Italy. Italy, usually they're known for their defense, their structure, and they were just complete ass, I would say, top to bottom. None of these players, I know Chiesa's coming off injury, but like none of the Italian players, I think were as good as years in the past. They were the reigning champs, they did win. But I would say that was another disappointment. I gotta I shouted him out last episode, but definitely Pepe. He had a he looks like Pepe still the same. Um, at 41 years old, 40 years old, gotta give props to Pepe. Amazing tournament. Overall, I really did enjoy the Euros, and it's sad, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's sad that the Euros are done, Copa America's done, and these next like 2 weeks, there's nothing really going on. I mean, if you like baseball, baseball's going on. If you like women's basketball, um, but yeah, um, look forward, like I said, training camps in 2 weeks. The start of football is coming. Club soccer, right now, a lot of amistosos are probably going to be happening. But it was a good Euro. And Germany as guests. Germany, I forgot to mention, Germany, another amazing team. And it just shows Spain. They went from Germany, France, England, deservingly champs. Congratulations to them. The other final later on that day, Argentina defeats Colombia to win the Copa America in extra time. We'll get into what happened at the beginning, but overall, the game wise, very, I think it's a very tough game. Very defensive game. Argentina's defense, man, Colombia couldn't break them down. They had moments they didn't capitalize, but I just think Argentina's defense was solid. Rodrigo de Paul, he was solid as well, dominating the midfield the whole game, up and down, winning balls back. He had an amazing game. Uh, Want to give a shout out to another legend, a historic legend. I feel like lately, all the players I used to watch growing up, they're getting old. Di Maria, his last game for Argentina, emotional. Still the Di Maria of old, putting his team on his back, always for Argentina. So, congratulations, Di Maria, for what you have done for football. Wish you the best. I believe he's not retiring from club football, but from La Selección, he retires with the Copa America title. He had a good game for Colombia. I don't know. Les faltó what you need to beat teams like that. Being, if you come at the king, you best not miss. And they had their opportunities. They wanted to fight more. Their forward, he was trying to fight everyone. But like I said, Luis Diaz, he had an okay game. James, he done James things. Um, Their defense was pretty solid. Their goalie, did stop a couple opportunities. Same with Argentina. But like I said, it was a South American soccer game. Aguerridos, tough, no space. The opportunity you get, you got to score. And who came through? Someone that I've been calling a fraud since the World Cup. Frautauro. He has upgraded. This episode has been of people upgrading. We got Cacarella to Cucarella, Frautauro to Lautaro Martinez, top scorer of the Copa America, scoring the decisive goal to give it to Argentina, and then winning their 16th Copa America, solidifying, solidifying. I know the Ronaldo fans right now is not your episode because you guys are pissed because solidifying Messi's already amazing legacy. But he didn't do nothing. He got injured like Ronaldo in the Euros. What are you gonna say about that? Messi's Messi. And I feel like when Messi started crying, that's the motivation that Argentina needed for them to win it. Messi is here. He's bigger, you know, the GOAT. Messi's the GOAT. There's nothing else he can do, really. I mean, World Cup, Copa Americas, Champions Leagues, Balón de Oros, Inter de Miami, that Copita last year. But in all seriousness, I mean, was it Messi's best tournament? It wasn't. But Messi's Messi. And because of him, Argentina got where they got. Unfortunately, he did get injured, and it was very devastating seeing him break down like that because this is potentially his last Copa America. I mean, he probably will make it to the World Cup. Who knows? Injury, stuff like that. But it just adds more resume, more things to his resume. And like I said, all jokes aside, Messi's the GOAT. He in my generation, he's the greatest player I've ever seen play. My favorite is still Ronaldinho, I will say, but Messi is the GOAT. Morata the GOAT. Morata, we didn't speak on Morata. Very frustrating player. Shout out to Morata. He just signed with Milan. I'm sure Pancho's gonna get the Morata jersey because he's gonna be dominated over there. But Morata has I feel like Morata is those players, we were talking about it. He makes amazing runs. He holds the ball well, but he just can't finish. And to be a striker, you got to finish. But let's talk about the juicy part of the Copa America. Was the Copa America a disaster, as in for the U.S. for just throughout this tournament? We've been hearing the conditions of the field, the fact that fans couldn't sell their tickets because there was like a price cap. Basically, there was games where people were trying to sell the tickets because it wasn't selling, but there was a price cap that they put high that they couldn't sell their ticket. They couldn't put it for a lower price because obviously, they want to make their money. And then we had the incident with Uruguay players going on the stands fighting with Colombian fans. Obviously, when it's relating to family, like you got to do what you got to do. And the fact that the security, their police, weren't really helping out, didn't do much, it looks bad. And then yesterday, cherry on top, icing on the cake. It was surreal seeing, people were just, when have you heard of that happen in the US? First of all, fans just rushing into a sporting event. And it wasn't just that, it was the fact that they were jumping fences, going through ventilation systems, the kids, stomping on kids, and then the fact that, all right, they close the door, they delay the game, and then they just let anyone in because obviously they want to prevent stampedes, people getting hurt. So they just let anyone in. So if you didn't have a ticket, you just walk in. And then the fact that if you had a ticket, but you were all the way in the back and they stopped letting people in because the stadium's at max capacity, I believe they said where the Dolphins play fits 65,000 people. And I think inside, I don't know, I heard on the TV that there was like, 100,000 people in there. You bought a ticket, 4,000, 2,000, and they tell you you can't come in because someone who didn't pay for the tickets has your seat, or that's crazy. That's crazy. Especially here in the US. But I feel like Obviously, they have some blame, but it falls on the Ball because we don't hear this happening in the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, World Series, UFC event. I just feel that the Ball wasn't prepared, and I don't know. Throughout the tournament, I've been hearing, that the refs that they were getting, some of these refs were under investigation for corruption. So I think it falls more on the Ball. I think, and it will be a great lesson going forward, for the U.S. hosting the World Cup. Last year in the Champions, oh yeah, it did happen, but I heard they were able to handle it pretty quick, not like yesterday. But that is true. That did happen in the Champions League. But the question will be, will this affect the U.S. for the World Cup 2026? I think with bad things that happen, lessons come. And going forward, I mean, I saw the pictures of the aftermath. They destroyed a escalator. They destroyed places in the stadium. I feel like going forward, it's gonna, it's gonna give a blueprint of like, well, how not to handle this. And they were saying, I think something that they do in South America is at a certain spot, like certain maybe like 2-3 miles from the stadium, they start. If you don't have a ticket, you can't get past this zone. So by the time you get to the gates, it's all people that have tickets. So you prevent people that could go up to the stadium and they don't have a ticket, right? Obviously, like I said, I've gone to many Niners games. People tailgate. People, they get intoxicated, but I've never seen something like this happen. And I feel like, I don't know, as people, I guess, in America, they could get rowdy and stuff, but, they do tend to follow the directions. Because it's kind of crazy, if all a mob of people are rushing maybe like 5 cops, like, because there's only so much they can do. But it's a great lesson going forward. And I know right now the US is getting a lot of heat for it, because they were the host country, but it's like, I don't know, it's like for example, I guess, in Vegas, right? They use the MGM Grand to host events. I guess it would be like the MGM Grand getting blamed for an incident that the UFC hosted. Wouldn't you think that the UFC would be responsible? So I think, maybe the CONMEBOL, I think they both have their fair share of blame, but I think it falls more on the CONMEBOL because they're the ones organizing this event. They're just using the US as the venue. But we'll see. The final of Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Paris was also delayed. But I don't know. I don't think it was, like I said yesterday, what they were showing, that was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. People jumping fences. Um, yeah, I mean, but I mean, good thing the game, there was no other incidents, no fighting, no people going on, because my thing was like, man, what if all these people just go on the field and stuff, like after the game and stuff. But none of that happened. It all just falls to people being excited. Colombia, Argentina, South American fans, they different. But it's going to be a great blueprint for, like I said, the US, the organizer of the World Cup, for them to, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is what's not going to happen anymore. And it puts, the pressure too. Let's get better fields. Let's, I don't know, let's be prepared. It's like at the end of the day, the US, one of the best countries in the world, you know, um, most powerful, so they don't want to look bad, I'm sure. But overall, Copa America wise, I don't know. I don't know. There was a lot to be desired from Brazil. We talked about it last episode. Mexico, obviously, the US, um, even Argentina. They ended up being the champions, but I feel like they didn't play. I don't know. I feel like Colombia played the best, but Argentina's Argentina, and they did what they had to do. Speaking of the US, speaking of current events, um, yeah, we're getting into it. My boy Trump, he survives an assassination attempt, and I think it just solidifies him as just our president going forward. Because man, you could say he has one of the cold coldest pictures ever. The fact that he got shot, he stands up, does this, gets the crowd wild. I mean, man, Biden, he got to do something. He got to, I don't know. But all jokes aside, that's crazy. You know, you have always learned about assassination attempts in school, but to actually someone try to do it to Trump, especially Trump, you would think, usually the people that be doing that are, I think the guy or the kid was a conservative, but that's crazy. And that's crazy that if he would have moved like, I don't know, inches, it would have been GG's for him. And the fact that he got shot in the ear, I don't know. Could it be staged? If it was staged, man, I mean, he just, like I said, it just made him even more popular. To survive an assassination attempt, Trump, if he comes out, in the next rally with many men, it's over. I think it's over. But it's crazy, man. Crazy, 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 crazy times. But I don't know. There's something weird about it. Like I said, we don't get too political in this show, but like I saw a video, like you could clearly see someone laying down with a sniper, and then there was like his security, like I don't know, like there was snipers around there, and like they didn't see him. There was people in the crowd saying like, "Hey, that guy's weird over there." But like I said, Trump, my president, he survived. 2024, MAGA, always. We keep it coming, many men, wish death upon me, but he survived. So shout out my boy Trump. Um, all right. Yesterday, Carol G sang the national anthem, and then Shakira had a halftime show. So Bonnie, he has made his return. Again, happy birthday, Bonnie. Celebrating 40 years old. Congratulations. How was Mexico? But he asks, Carol G or Shakira in their prime? And this question is, I think, is disrespectful to Shakira. Carol G, she's good, but she ain't Shakira. Like Shakira has, and even though she did not play Waka Waka yesterday, Waka Waka, many bangers. Shakira all day. There's no competition. No competition. Like Carol G, I mean, what song she got? She probably got like one or two. She's more known for like heartbreak and shit. Shakira, you want heartbreak? Shakira, she went like to my boy Piqué, put a whole song on him, made him viral. The hips don't lie. Just more iconic, like disrespectful. I think Shakira all day. Shakira ankles, Carol G. Shakira's ankles, Messi's ankle. Shakira's ankles, Tony's ankles. Hi, Tony. I mean, low key, Carol G. This might be controversial. I don't know. She kind of looked like a dude, but we don't. No hate zone. I might get canceled. Fuck it. Might get canceled for supporting Trump. Might get canceled for this. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't been canceled yet. But next bunny question: Mexico. Exactly. Becky G over Carol. That's true. I'll take Becky G over Carol G too. Like, there's many more options. Many more options. So okay, if Mexico made it to the final, who would you want to sing the national anthem? The first choice, obviously, he's no longer here, but Vicente Fernandez, definitely, he would be one of them. Who the real G? Warren G. G. I'm the real G. Warren G. That's one. But yeah, thank you, George. It's Luis Miguel right now, hands down. He would be the number one choice. Um, yeah, because thank you, in the words of Coach Larry, Big G. Many G's out there better than Carol G. If it was Christmas time, she couldn't even carol. Justin Bieber, that would be a great option. I'm sure he knows Spanish. Uh, Bruno Mars might be. No, it would be hands down Luis Miguel to sing the national anthem. Mm, no, I'm not promoting her. Not even posting that up. Definitely not her. Gotta be Luis Miguel. Another one would be Jose Jose R.I.P. But he gone. That dead. Maybe Kanye. He'll be. She nice. She nice with it. That X Men's line went crazy. Drake or Kendrick? Kendrick all day. No questions. He cooked them. Please. But they not like us. Los Bookies. That might. I forgot about them. Los Bookies. El Tri singing the national. El Tri. Playing the national anthem. That would be a good one. Definitely. Banda Recodo. Tribal MTY. Don't forget about them. Maná. Pero tú ya tienes otro. Na, 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 na. Banda Mexicano over Recodo. But it's a great question, Bonnie, always. Pancho asks, how many rounds you lasting with Tracy Cortez? That's a great question. Rappers at lunchtime. Great question, Pancho. So right now, like I said, I'm definitely in my getting back in shape. The blood flow is better. Um, you know, I have more energy. So a solid, I would say, how many rounds would I go with Tracy Cortez? Maybe two or three. I would definitely want to go two or three. Now in MMA, probably by the first round, she'll probably choke me out or stuff like that. With the eyelashes, without the eyelashes, she can wear whatever she wants. All she has to do is slow down. But talking about that fight, so if we're serious, so that fight it showed levels. I did disrespect Nama Yunus. She's still up there. And what I forgot was that she actually moved up in weight. She's actually fighting in the Grasso division. But so that's why she was ranked six, and it just showed levels. Like, yeah, Tracy Cortez, she's been undefeated in the UFC, but that fight showed like you're not here yet. Obviously, the weight cut was hard for her, so that could have affected her. Um, but it could also be benefit of her. Like the theme of the episode has been, going through some things that are tough. It builds character and it makes you learn the biggest lessons. So maybe going forward, she might, learn a lot, learn something from it to improve. But Namajunas cooked her, all 5 rounds. I thought it was going to be over by the first round, but she showed heart. She was there. She tried to tell her to stang and bang, and then tried to take her down. But like I said, how many rounds would I like to go? I would like to go 2, 3, 4 rounds with her. But if we're talking MMA, UFC fighting, then probably by the first round, I'm out of there. Because I don't know how she made 126 when that booty 100 pounds. But I digress. I know every week we like talk about shows and stuff. The Acolyte, yeah. After last week's episode, qué decepción. Horrible, horrible. What they've done to Star Wars needs to be studied because it's been horrible. But another show I've been watching, better show, Receivers. Um, I'm in episode 5, and I want to say, I guess the highlight of the show for me has been seeing Devontae Adams be pissed off at Jimmy G and just been like hating his life, and it just shows what we knew as Niners fans. Jimmy G's ass. Um, Devontae Adams, they even say, amazing receiver. Even all the receivers on the show, when they ask him who's the best receiver, they pick Devontae Adams. The fact one of them, he's wide open. Jimmy G just throws it 5 yards in front of him, gets pissed off. He's like, they killing me out here. Fuck this. Da, 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 da. Bum. It's been great. It's a great show. In the words of Canelo, horrible fighter. You should watch Dark Matter on Apple TV. Okay, I'll check that out. We finished it yesterday. Receivers lit. Okay, I'm in episode 5, but that's been the highlight. I've also enjoyed Amonte Brown, the way that his dad has raised him at a young age, putting discipline, his mentality. I've enjoyed it. Is Justin Jefferson. He's fun, but I've really enjoyed Kittle on the show. Kittle and Debo, more Kittle. He just seems like a cool dude. Cool dude. It's great seeing the behind the scenes of last season as a Niners fan. The Cowboys game, when we went on that 3-game losing streak, Debo coming back. But there's certain things that I'm not looking forward to the end of the season. I will say it's going to be reliving horrible memories for me. I don't know what's worse, that or heartbreak. I think Niners losing the Super Bowl, definitely being so close. But there's Debo says something. He says, last time we went 5-0, we made it to the Super Bowl. We lost it, but this time hopefully we don't. And I'm like, damn, bro, look at this better. Look at this better. The Boys season 4 has been so honestly. It gets better. I don't know how far you are. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I've enjoyed it though. You should tune into Mbappe Showcase tomorrow on Real Madrid TV. Link, please. I'll definitely take a look. But look at los espera a mis Niners. I'm excited. I'll be excited for that show up to the NFC Championship. But once they show the Super Bowl, but I guess the highlight is, like I said, the Jimmy G parts. It's funny because he overthrows him, and then you see Jimmy G come up to Devontae. My bad, bro. I'll get you on the next one. And Devontae's like, yo, get the fuck off me. Like, don't talk to me, you fucking bum. But I could have told you. I mean, I could have told you. There were some Raiders fans at the beginning that were like, I think you settled. It's like the Raiders fans. It's like when you're at a bar. It's like Vic. No. No, I'll just stop there. Don't watch the final episode. You're crying. Thank you, Chidi. How's everything, man? How's Guadalajara? Hopefully you're back soon, man. Best of recoveries. Quest for 6 forever. Vic. Speaking of Vic, speaking of Vic, then he sent me a video of him crying. I'm gonna do it though. Sometimes, in life you gotta face your biggest fears, and from it you become stronger. So definitely. But speaking of Vic, I hope you're watching. Saturday was, yeah, I know we're pretty toxic, but there's been, so for many years now, my biggest regret in life is that a couple years ago I had Vic, in the rear naked choke, about to choke him out, and I felt bad, so I let it go. And from it, he said, "Oh, you weren't gonna choke me out. Da 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 da. It was never like that." Tony was there. He has proof. Stop, Nene. See, Nene, I know you cry for like movies and stuff, but me, sports, I am gonna cry like that. That hits my heart. But anyways, let me stick to the Vic story. So for many years, I said that I could have choked him out, but I felt bad for him. And he said, "Nah, you weren't gonna choke me out. Drop these hands." Da, 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 da. So then Saturday, we're just horsing around. Canceled. Horsing around, and we just start. Hey, bro. I'll start on the floor. I'll start on the floor. Pause. No Diddy. And let's see if you can choke me out. Pause. So we start. He can't choke me out. I reverse it. I stand up. Easy. My turn. And we go back and forth rounds. Pause again. Pause. Eventually, I take care of business. I choke him out. He taps with one arm. I go like this. I have the body triangle with my feet around his stomach. Pause again. And one hand choke him out. And this is what he does. He taps. So Vic, I know right now you saying that you want to run it again. You can't be using reverse and choke me out in the same set. Pause again. This segment has been just pausing and no ditties, but pause, mega pause. But I did what I had to do. I he tapped, he tapped, and I'm sure they do call Vic the choke artist. I mean, we've seen them. I mean, he's a man. Nah, bro, play. But where was I going with Vic? So Niners. I mean, Raiders fans. You guys, Jimmy G is like when you go out to the bar, you're striking out. You drink enough that the 2 becomes a 10, and you say, "I can make it work." Raiders fans, I feel like that's how you saw with Jimmy G at the beginning. But then when you wake up the next day, you realize, damn, it's my Thanos era. And I'll leave it right there and I'll leave it at that to end it with Gio's words of wisdom. Um, Theme of the show. I feel like we're ready to, but don't, no, we already been there. Fears. Let's do fears. Fears. Face them. May be scary. It may be daunting. But if you overcome your fears, if you're able to conquer them from it, will be the greatest strength you'll ever face. So whatever is scaring you, whatever is daunting you, whatever you're fearing, face it head on. Because headstrong, I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone. So Vic, I know you're fearing me, but that's fine. I'm making you stronger. I'm making you who you need to be. So from that, you guys, thank you again for an amazing show. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. We'll see what it brings. I have to get creative because, like I said, it's just baseball going on, but we'll see what happens. It wasn't us Raiders fans, bro. It was the Thomas coach who we wanted to keep Carr. Remember when Frank Thomas hot that 500? Remember when Frank Thomas hit that 50th hour, 500th hour? Frank Thomas. That does not ring a bell. Sniffers row. Yee. But thank you guys again. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great Monday. I'll see you next week. Peace out. Peace.